Hey guys, just gonna kind of do an impromptu quick video for you all while we're doing a bunch of spring maintenance. Our blueberry bushes, we've got 3 of them in this raised bed here. Those need to be transplanted. So I figured it would be a good time to tell you guys about when you need to transplant your blueberries, and then I'll show you where we're transplanting them to. In the house here in the backyard. We need to make sure that the blueberries are getting a lot of sunlight. They prefer almost as much sunlight as possible and can tolerate some drier soil. You don't want to put it in an area that is soaking wet. That's definitely not going to be good for them. And they do prefer a little bit more of an acidic soil if at all possible. A lot of times you kind of just have to use the soil that you have, and really blueberries will do fine in most places as long as they're not too wet and they're not getting way too much shade. If they are in those conditions, you're not going to get the fruit harvest that you want to. So make sure lots of sun and medium, mild to moderate dry soil in that location too. So this is one of them here. We've got another one right here and another one right here. We transplanted those into this bed last year just to get them in the soil for the meantime, and so now it's time to move them out. When digging these up, make sure you get around the entire root ball. You try not to cut any of that off. And also, the younger your blueberry bush is, the easier it's going to transplant. And also less likely that you're going to damage the plant terminally to the point where it's going to die. So earlier and younger plants are easier to transplant. You want to do this in either early fall or early spring. If you live in a harsher climate, make sure you don't transplant before a heavy frost in the spring. So you could wait till like March, maybe early April to do this before there's too much growth, but yet to the point where it's in a dormancy stage. All right, let's dig up the new holes for them. I'm gonna make them a little bit larger so we can add in some soil. All right, this is where that raised garden bed is. This direction towards me is south, and we've got this empty space right here that is going to get a lot of sunlight almost all day long, except for at the very end of the day when it casts a shadow over this from these trees. But almost the entire day it's getting sunlight right here, and it's kind of a dead space, and it would be the perfect amount of space for these blueberries to grow for several years. You usually like to get them about 5 feet apart. In this case, they're gonna be a little bit less than 4 feet apart, which is gonna be just fine because we're gonna keep up on the pruning with them. Should we get them planted? So there we've got them all planted. What I did in the bottom was put some, it was a mix of like real fine wood chips and soil. That way it has some better drainage down beneath than this soil does. It's not really clay, but it's got a little bit of clay in there. So in the bottom of this hole, that's why I put that stuff in, so it drains a little bit better than it would have. And again, these are gonna get full sunlight, and I'll keep track of the growth for you guys. I'm probably gonna put wood chips up around this area to stop grass from growing up through this. And then I think that's gonna be about it. I'm gonna give them a nice watering just to make sure there's no big air pockets around this. That's important because you don't want your roots exposed to air. Besides that, it's pretty simple. You just wanna make sure you do it at the right time of the year. Either early fall or early spring. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Again, just a real quick impromptu video, but I hope maybe helped you guys out if you have some blueberries of your own that you need transplanting. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.